Hello, everybody. Good morning. We're going to make sure that our technology is working well for you. You can see everybody. Okay, it looks like you can see me and hear me, and people are popping on. Welcome, welcome. I am so excited to introduce you to one of my amazing friends and colleagues, Lisa Davis. This woman is incredible. She is my go-to on all things non-toxic makeup, safe makeup options. I didn't know what a primer was until I met this woman. We met several years ago and she just changed my life. And especially when I found out that I had celiac disease and all the hidden things that are in our makeup, like gluten and toxins and I loved this company. I loved the message behind the full transparency. They have #1 ratings on the environmental working groups list, which is challenging to do. Lisa will talk to you about this. But for me, it was the perfect match with what we do. We both have a love for non-toxic, safer options for women to have in our home. And what I do with the essential oils and educate and support, she does the same thing with crunchy makeup. So welcome, Lisa. We're so glad to have you here. Introduce yourself to our tribe.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Laura. Thank you. So I am just so thrilled to be here and sharing with you all this morning. I want to say a huge thank you to Dr. Laura, who is my essential oil guru. And I reached out to her, a couple years back. I really had no idea what to do with oils, and I had a few experiences, not the best. And she just took me by the hand and led me right through exactly what to do and how to best utilize the oils to support my health. And I haven't looked back. And it's been really a blessing to partner with her, both personally and professionally. And I'm just so grateful to be here, sharing more of the non-toxic message, but with makeup. I want to see if I can do this. Can I do full screen? Oh, yep, I flipped it. Okay. All right. Am I good?
You're good. You look great.
Amazing. Thank you. So I actually put on a base face for you guys. I'm going to do kind of like a mini makeup tutorial for fall, winter, / holiday look for you guys. And I'm actually going to be we have some beautiful makeup sets that are on sale currently on my website. And I'm going to be posting my, the shopping link, which is Dr. Laura has an open online event that you can order on if you decide you want to dive in and try some crunchy, or you need to replace some products that you've been using with non-toxic options. I will post a link above. And right now we have some sets on sale. So I'm going to do my makeup featuring the sets we have currently on sale, which I thought would be really wonderful. Always nice to start off with a sale. And so right now what I'm currently wearing is primer, foundation, concealer, a translucent loose powder, a light dusting of bronzer, and that's about it. So that's just like my basic sort of like base face, and then I'm going to add in all the color in just a few minutes. But good makeup, high performing makeup is amazing. But what truly sets Crunchy apart is several things. #1, I believe that we are the safest makeup line in the country. As Dr. Laura mentioned, all of our products and ingredients are rated a 1 on the EWG, which is, unbelievable. The company worked for months and months and months to ensure that all the products will be rated a 1, and it all comes down to the ingredients that we choose to use in our products. The company does third-party testing. The products are Leaping Bunny certified cruelty-free. They are gluten-free, which is so important. Many of my clients have celiac disease, and it is extremely important because it's not only important what you put in your body, but what you put on your body, because skin can absorb up to 50% of the products that you put on your body. And in fact, certain areas of your skin can absorb up to 100%. Specifically, your scalp, armpits, and groin can absorb up to 100% of the chemicals that you're putting on your body. And of course, water is a chemical, so that's perfectly fine to absorb. However, that's a whole separate topic, because sometimes water can be filled with harmful chemicals that we want to avoid. But not to get too complicated, there are harmful chemicals and not harmful chemicals. And makeup is one of the worst offender when it comes to cheap toxic ingredients that multinational corporations, billion-dollar corporations choose to include in their products because it is cheap and because it's easily, readily available, and it is simple to shove fillers and toxic chemicals in those products and get them out to market and spend lots and lots of money on marketing to make you think that you're purchasing safe products when you're actually not. Because as we know, long-term exposure to these harmful chemicals or chemicals of concern can actually lead to trouble with our bodies. It causes endocrine disruption. It can even lead to, you know, helping to develop disorders in the body, you know, autonomic disorders, not autonomic, but I can't think of the word right now.
Oh, autoimmune.
Thank you. Autoimmune
I got
disorders.
you, girl.
I'm like, thank you, my friend. I'm like, I know she's got that word. Yes, autoimmune disorders. And it can even lead to developing cancer. So it can be one of the contributory causes of cancer. So what we want to do is avoid harmful chemicals. And again, one of the worst offenders is makeup. So I was overjoyed when I discovered Crunchy, because it is also all the makeup and skincare of Crunchy is made in the USA, where regulatory standards are just higher. The products are toxin-free. They are reef-safe. This is really important when it comes to things like sunscreen. We want to protect our coral reefs as much as we want to protect our body. So our sunscreen is, of course, reef-safe. The products are consciously packaged. They are gluten-free. They are vegetarian or vegan. And actually, the entire product line is moving to be actually vegan. So none of the products are even going to be vegetarian. We're going to exclude beeswax in our products to make them fully vegan. They are non-GMO, and they are they're just so, every ingredient is so carefully chosen, because your makeup should be more than just makeup. It's actually chosen, the ingredients in the product are chosen to be good for your skin. And I know that you all care about what you're putting on your bodies and in your bodies, because you're in Dr. Laura's group and you use essential oils and you follow her. So it's just so important to be mindful and aware of, you know, what you're putting on your face and to avoid toxins. So I did want to talk very briefly about the 10 sort of top harmful chemicals to avoid in your makeup. And then I'm going to dive into the mini makeup tutorial I have planned for you guys. So, and please ask questions as we go through in the next 15 minutes or so. So I'm going to actually just touch upon 10 and then do a deeper dive into 2 of the ingredients that we may not know so much about. So let's see, polyethylene glycol, or PEGs, that is a synthetic preservative. It is a known irritant. It's a known endocrine disruptor, and it's really, really important to avoid PEGs. And PEGs are really ubiquitous in a lot of products. You know, you go to Target, drugstore, department store, online, you know, and you look at your ingredient labels, and you're going to see PEGs listed as preservative in many, many, many of those product lines. You want to avoid polyethylene glycols. Another one is formaldehyde releasers. This is a little bit trickier to avoid, because very often that, you know, you're not going to see formaldehyde releasers listed on the ingredient label. Because what happens is ingredients are put together when a product is formulated, and then when those ingredients combine in the bottle or packaging, it creates formaldehyde releasers, okay? So it's actually the combination of ingredients that causes formaldehyde releasers in the finished product. So you're putting that on your skin or your face, and you have no idea that there's formaldehyde formed in that product. So companies get away with this. They know what's happening. They don't really care. Very unfortunately for us. So you have to sort of become a label reading expert. And it's also just really important to seek out safer products. Nanoparticles, again, this goes back to sunscreen. Many, many sunscreens contain nanoparticles of zinc oxide. You want to look for and opt for non-nanoparticle zinc oxide, which has been shown to not penetrate into the skin and not drill into your organs, okay? Crunchy sunscreen, of course, contains non-nanoparticle zinc oxide, which stays on the surface of the skin. It's a physical sunscreen. So, so important to seek that out in your sunscreen products. And a lot of makeup now has a built-in sunscreen with it, has built-in, you know, UV and UVB protection. But you have to be really careful with that, because again, many of those makeup lines with sunscreen included are going to be nanoparticle zinc oxide that again is going to penetrate into your skin. It's going to be that chemical sunscreen that we don't want. We want the physical sunscreen that stays on the surface of your skin to protect it from UV and UVB rays. So another one to avoid is heavy metals or lead in your products. And what I love about the fact that Crunchy does, we use EcoCert certified minerals, and they are the safest and cleanest and best. We follow the European Union standards. So our products are a mix of organic, you know, certified organic, USDA certified organic ingredients, and minerals, and a handful of safe synthetics, but these are all EcoCert certified. And so we don't have heavy, you know, we have all of our products tested for the presence of heavy metals, because whenever you're mining minerals from the earth, there is that possibility of heavy metals being present. But so far we're going through and we're doing that third-party testing of all of our products. And so far of the products that have been tested, I am extremely proud to report that there are undetectable, undiscernible amounts of heavy metal and lead in our makeup, in our products, which is basically unheard of in this industry. So yay for Crunchy, big pat on the back for this company taking every step possible, imaginable, to make our products as safe as humanly possible. I want to cover just a few more toxic chemicals to avoid. Phthalates, which are another known endocrine disruptor, synthetic preservative. You absolutely want to avoid phthalates in your products. Again, that's another ingredient that's really ubiquitous. So you want to kind of, and they kind of go under different names. So when you're looking at ingredient labels, it can be tricky to look for phthalates, because it can be like dibutyl phthalate, like it can take different names in different forms. On my Crunchy website, we have a blacklist of over 1,300 harmful toxic chemicals, and you can look them up. You can look up phthalates, and you can see all the synonyms for phthalates. You can see research on why it's not good, why it should be avoided, and it's a full description. So each chemical that I talk about, you're going to find in my blacklist on my website. So if you're curious, want more information, it's all right there. Synthetic colors and dyes, that's a biggie, you guys. Red Lake and red dye are not just found in, like sugary cereals and like other, packaged foods that we find in the market. They're also in your makeup, okay? They're in your lipsticks, they're in your shadows, they're in your blushes. Like, these nasty synthetic colors and dyes are absolutely found in traditional everyday makeup. So that's another huge class of chemicals to avoid. Let's see, ethoxylated compounds, loose powder titanium dioxide, parabens, and we're going to talk about parabens in more detail in just a second. But guys, again, let me know if you have any questions at all. I don't think I may not be able to see comments. So Laura, if you're seeing any comments come through, just maybe let me know, give me a heads up.
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to talk about a couple of ingredients to avoid that I think are really, really important, that kind of hide out in our products that we may not be aware of. So BPA, bisphenol A, is an estrogenic chemical that has strong evidence links to breast cancer. And of course, this still being October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I think it's extra important to talk about this. It's one of the most common chemicals you're exposed to daily. So common places you'll find BPA. Thank you for linking that, Laura. Plastic water bottles, plastic cups, place utensils, canned foods. You always want to look for BPA-free cans, plastic food packaging, plastic food storage containers, cosmetics packaged in plastic. You guys, this is a biggie, okay? So you want to obviously look for BPA-free plastic, but even better, I'm so proud of Crunchy, because Crunchy is in the process of transitioning away. We have we only have 2 products packaged in BPA-free plastic, but right now, all of our 2 products that are packaged in BPA-free plastic, it's not even BPA plastic, they're being transitioned to a natural derived substance that will break down in compost in 28 days, or in the landfill in 28 days. So proud of Crunchy. So we only have 2 products packaged in BPA-free plastic, but those are being transitioned again to a natural derived product that will break down the landfill or compost in 28 days. So we're going to be plastic free very, very shortly. Our products are now being transitioned to being packaged in glass. Okay, we're even going to have glass mascara tubes, if you can believe that. And it's tempered glass, so it's not going to shatter or break in your makeup bags. Our commitment to good quality makeup extends far beyond to the packaging. We want the packaging to be as safe as the makeup, right? So more things to avoid that contain BPA include, again, skincare packaged in plastic, canned sodas, dental fillings, thermal store receipts. So those receipts that you get from like CVS or the drugstore, don't touch those. Try not to touch those. Get it emailed to you. CDs and DVDs, sports equipment. So basically, prenatal exposure to BPA or bisphenol A can lead to abnormalities in mammary tissue development. This is observed during gestation and maintained into adulthood, okay? Other studies have demonstrated that BPA alone increased the growth of mammary tumors even without the addition of known carcinogens. You want to avoid exposure to low levels of BPA in normal and cancerous human breast cells led to altered gene expression, including cell death, rapid increase in cell formation, and initiation of cancer formation. In the presence of BPA, highly aggressive tumors were developed in cells from the non-cancerous breast of women diagnosed with breast cancer. Long story short, avoid BPA. The good news is that BPA has a relatively short clearance time from the body. One study showed that just a 3-day period of limiting intake of packaged foods decreased the concentrations of BPA found in urine by an average of 65%. So moral of the story is, if you've been exposed to it for years, unwittingly, just stop the exposure. It will clear from your body, and you can start feeling much better about things immediately. So just avoid BPA as much as possible. So avoid canned foods and sodas, avoid clear shadowproof plastic food and drink containers, avoid using polycarbonate water bottles. We banned water bottles in our house years ago. Choose cosmetics and other personal care products that are packaged in glass and stainless steel or other non-plastic packaging. Limit your intake of commercially packaged food. Opt to go paperless when offered a thermal receipt. And that is really, those are some of the, and choose glass or stainless steel like baby bottles, cups, kid cups, utensils, etc. Many plastics say BPA-free, but the alternatives to BPA have not been adequately tested. BPA-free labels do not always mean the product is safe. And all this information was gathered from the BCPP, Breast Cancer Prevention Partners, which Crunchy, my company, has partnered with. And this is an amazing, amazing organization. It's basically a huge clearinghouse of information. They gather up research and they disseminate to the public. We want to move beyond breast cancer awareness to breast cancer prevention, right? Let's work together to reduce our cumulative collective risk of developing this awful disease, because we know about it, we're aware of it, we just need to prevent it now. So the second chemical, second of two, they are all listed in the link. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Laura. Parabens are a common, so I want to talk about parabens. That's the second chemical I want to do a deeper dive into. Parabens are, we are very commonly exposed to them, one of the strongest evidence links to breast cancer. A recent study showed that over 90% of people in the United States have parabens in their bodies, and higher concentrations are found in women than in men. All right, so we tend to bioaccumulate more. Another, and I can absolutely link these studies if anyone would like to see the studies. Another study found that 99% of breast cancer tissues were tested positive for parabens. So what are parabens? Parabens are a group of compounds put in cosmetics and other personal care products as a preservative to prevent the growth of mold, bacteria, and yeast. Parabens are most commonly found in cosmetics, personal care items, lotion, sunscreen, deodorant, makeup, hair products of all kinds. Sometimes they're even in chewing gum and mouthwash as preservatives. What's the link to breast cancer? Parabens have been shown to disrupt the endocrine system, disrupt thyroid levels, mimic estrogen, affect normal breast cells, and potentially increase abnormal growth, leading to increased risk for breast cancer. Parabens can block chemotherapy agents. Methylparaben has shown to decrease the ability of tamoxifen to impede the effects of estrogen, making this common chemotherapy drug less effective at treating breast cancer. That was actually shocking to me when I read that information. So how do we avoid parabens? Most importantly, number one, read your ingredient list. Avoid products listing ingredients that end in paraben, like methylparaben. There's different labels for it, different names for it. Anything ending in paraben, avoid. Some common parabens and their synonyms: propylparaben, butylparaben, methylparaben, ethylparaben, heptylparaben. So those are just the most common names for parabens. Detox parabens from your products to reduce your exposure. You can feel confident in your cosmetics choices using Crunchy. Parabens, of course, are in Crunchy's extensive blacklist, meaning you'll never find them hiding in our products. Even better is if you look on my website, all of the ingredients, 100% of the ingredients in every product are listed right below that product. So if you're wondering, well, gosh, what's in this eyeshadow that I want to try and use? Literally, it's all listed underneath each product, okay? It's every ingredient is listed underneath each product on the website. So now that I've shared with you kind of a deeper dive into BPA and parabens and talked about a few of the chemicals to avoid, I am going to dive in and share a little bit of the beautiful makeup sets that we have on sale for you guys. I'm very excited. Again, ask any questions as I go through. I've already applied primer, concealer, foundation, loose powder, and bronzer. So I've got the basics down, and now I'm just going to add some beautiful color in my face. And it is so incredibly bright. Right now, I'm going to see if I can I don't think I can change. I might have to shift where I'm sitting. Let me know if you guys can see me okay, if it's like actually too bright. Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit. But Dr. Laura, let me know if that's okay.
Yeah, that looks good. When you turned your camera, that helped a lot.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, let's see if I can maybe do that a little more. Okay. Getting my messy desk in the background. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So basically, we're going to do a very simple eye look. We're going to do some highlighter and some beautiful lips. And then I will finish it off with a little bit of brows and mascara for you guys. So we will start with highlighter. Actually, we'll start with shadow. So right now, when you purchase one shadow, it's anywhere from, I think it's 20% off with one shadow. And if you purchase 5 eyeshadows, it's 50% off. So now is a really, really good time to get eyeshadows. And all of our shadows are on sale, like every single shade. So it's an amazing time to stock up on eyeshadows. If you want a beautiful look for fall, winter, for the holidays, simple eye look, this is the time. So I'm going to start with a beautiful.
We have a question. Nicole asks that she says she's usually not a huge fan of foundation. Does Crunchy have a decent powder that has some coverage?
So that's a great question. So I hated liquid foundation before I found Crunchy, and I must have gone through probably 30 different types of liquid foundation. I also was a Bare Minerals powder user for years. So when Crunchy came along, I was skeptical. I was like, oh no, I like my powder. Like, I don't like to feel anything on my face. I want it to feel weightless. The issue for me was that powder just didn't quite give the beautiful coverage and glow that I wanted. Like, it was something, but it wasn't enough. But I wanted to feel like there was nothing on my face. So Crunchy, our beautiful foundation, is flawless. It's weightless. It's award-winning. It feels and looks like nothing on my face. Like, people can't even tell that I'm wearing foundation. I can't even tell that I'm wearing foundation, but it gives a gorgeous buildable coverage. And for women who are transitioning, for example, from Bare Minerals or another powder and wanting that same effect, I always recommend using our beautiful Smart Primer, mixing it 1-to-1 with our Flawless Foundation. Gives you a beautiful light BB cream, so it's sort of like a beautiful wash of color. And again, it feels like nothing on your face. So I highly encourage you to dive in and give the foundation and primer mix a try. I think that you will absolutely love. And it does, when it dries to a beautiful matte finish. So it feels and looks exactly like powder. And I will tell you that as someone who is a big skeptic going in. And what I love and what I always did not like about powder was that it didn't wear. It didn't last throughout the day. Like, by the afternoon, I'd be an oil slick and the powder would be gone. And I'm like, where's my makeup? But what I love about this is this topped with our loose powder, 10 hours later is still going strong and has not gone anywhere. I'm going to have the same beautiful look as I did first thing in the morning when I applied my makeup. So that's my plug for our Flawless Foundation. But Laura, thank you. But let me know if there are any other questions as I go through.
And Nicole had an idea. She said, if you turn your blinds the other way, it may pull the sunlight up. I'm not sure.
I may actually just sort of shift my whole, let me give that a try, but I may actually shift my seat.
And this is all, yeah, that looks pretty good. Thank you.
All right. Is that better?
Nicole says, awesome. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, I can be a second testimony to that as well. Cause I'm like you, Nicole, I usually would not wear foundation, and I don't know, it is so light and it blends really well. And, I actually like it a lot better for that. And it smells like vanilla cupcakes.
Yes, vanilla cupcakes. That's the best part. It smells amazing. Like, you just think you're just baking cupcakes in the kitchen. It smells so good. And the lip gloss smells the same fabulous way. It's incredible. All right, so I'm going to dive in with the eye look, but please keep the questions coming. I love it. And hopefully the lighting is looking a little bit better. So we are going to dive in. This is my favorite base color. This is Curiosity. It's a beautiful light shimmer pink. Looks great on everyone. And this is our number 7 all over blender brush. And this is perfect for applying shadow everywhere all over the base as a base coat for your eye. So I just smooth out my lid. And the only thing I do on my lids is I might do like a tiny bit of concealer just to kind of cover up any redness, and a tiny bit of powder. So that's all I do on my lids. And then I go in with the Curiosity shadow and the number 7 brush. You always want to tap off the excess, and that prevents fallout on your face. And what I love about the shadows is that, again, EcoCert certified mineral pigments, you get a beautiful color payoff with the shadow. You get it's beautifully pigmented shadows. And, you know, typical like natural based makeup, you're not going to get that color payoff, but with Crunchy, you do, which is fabulous. So I just apply it all over, and I stop kind of right at my brow bone because we're going to do some fancy highlighting up here. So I want to kind of leave that area open, but I applied Curiosity over most of my lids. All right, so that's Curiosity as the base shade. Next, we're going to go in with Allure, which is my favorite contour color. You can see it's been well used, well loved, and our number 8 crease brush. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of Allure, and I'm going to tap off the excess. You always want to start with less, and then you can always do more. But it's best to start with less and then add more. And everyone always wonders, you know, contour placement. Like, where do I, you know, how do I contour my eyes? And basically, if you have a lot of eye area to work with, you want to work you want to work in the crease and then blend up and out. But if you're like me and you have heavy lidded hooded eyes, I am almost 49, so my lids have, you know, come down even more. I'm going to work slightly above the crease and then blend up so that you can actually see that contour shade, right? Otherwise, if I work in the crease, you're not going to see it. So basically, I work above the crease and I keep my eye open so that I can see where I'm applying the shadow. And I work in the outer 2/3. Okay, and you can see how that's going on. And again, ask me any questions as I go through. And again, this is Allure, which is my favorite contour shade. It's just so easy to work with and easy to, very buildable, blendable. And you always want to tap off the excess. And then I bring it down to the outer edge of my upper lash line. Okay, and I'm just gonna do a little bit more. And again, I'm working above my crease because I really want to make sure that it gets seen. Right? And then I'm going to take our number 9 fluffy blender brush, and you're going to see this brush a ton. The secret to eyeshadow is to blend, okay? You don't have to be an expert. I am absolutely not a makeup. I am not a makeup expert. I'm not a makeup artist. I just like makeup and what it can do and how it can boost my inner confidence. And so the secret to eyeshadow especially is to blend. So I'm going to do a little bit more, kind of darken up the shade a little bit. And these are colors that are really universally flattering. I think people sometimes get stuck on, okay, what colors of eyeshadow did I use depending on my eye color? And you can really use any color you want. You do not have to stick with a particular color palette based on your eye color. You can really use whatever you prefer. And you don't have to avoid, like if you have blue eyes, you don't have to avoid blue shadow. I don't use blue shadow, but you don't have to avoid it. You can use whatever color you want. As long as you're drawn to it. But certain colors look great on every eye. Certain eyeshadows look great in every eye color. For example, Allure and Curiosity, the two I'm using, look great for every eye color. Right, so you can see that I just brought that like right along here. And I'm just gonna blend it, and I blend it up and out towards the outer edge of my eyebrow. The rule of thumb is do not want eyeshadow to extend past the inner brow or the outer edge of your eyebrow. Okay, so that's kind of like the imaginary line. So you don't want shadow like really kind of drifting past that line or, you know, along the inner corner. You just want to avoid that if possible. Okay, so we're doing a really, really soft look. I might do just a tiny bit more. I'm always a little bit conservative with my shadow, but we can do a little bit more. We can darken it up. And I depend on the number 9 fluffy blender brush really to blend everything. The secret to eyeshadow is really to blend. And this brush is amazing. You can see it's nice and big and fluffy, and it makes blending so easy. And you do not have to be an expert. You just need the number 9 brush. Okay, you can see how that's working. And then we're going to darken up the outer corner with Fearless, okay? And Fearless is a beautiful, like darker, sort of glimmery, has a glimmer to it. And I am once again going to take the number 9 fluffy blender. I'm actually going to take the number 8 crease brush, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of, just a tiny bit of the Fearless, and I'm going to draw a little tiny V in the outer corner of my eye. This time I am going to actually close my eye. Right? I'm going to do a little bit more. Tap off the excess, and then take the number 9 fluffy blender and blend. Just bring that up and out towards the outer corner of my eyebrow. Okay. Same thing, other eye. And this is a beautiful look. And you can just darken it up for evening. If you want like a glam look for evening, you just darken up the shades. But again, you want to just do a little V in the outer corner. Okay. And then take the number 9. And just blend, and that's the secret. Okay, so then the next step is we are going to take Curiosity. I'm sorry, this is Champagne. This is a beautiful, beautiful highlighting color. And I'm going to take the number 9 brush again. I'm going to pick up some of the Champagne color, and this is just a gorgeous, it's like a shimmery beige, absolutely spectacular. Tap off the excess, of course. And I'm going to work in the inner half of my lid And I'm going to apply champagne to the inner half of my lid. And this helps the inner corner pop, the inner half of my lid pop, and lightens and brightens it up.
All right, Nicole has a question. Since the bad preservatives are not in this line, do you find that you have to replace more often than I would be used to?
Okay, that's a great question. So all of our makeup has a shelf life of 1 year, opened or unopened. And really the rule of thumb is all makeup should be replaced after 1 year. Even if there really is no expiration date, only because dirt and bacteria and things and dust can build up in your makeup, even just by virtue of opening it up and using it a few times. So after a year, all makeup should be pitched. So our shelf life of our products is 1 year, which I think is a great rule of thumb for all makeup and skincare. So that's the answer to your question. So really everything should be pitched after a year. So I always try to do that. I think it's really important to do that. And you just want to keep your skin looking its best. And when you're using like really old makeup and skincare, it can be harboring a lot of bacteria and dirt and dust and things like that. And dust can actually harbor a lot of toxic chemicals in it. So when you think about that, it's really important to get that switched out on a more regular basis. And our skincare, we do have a few skincare products. Those actually have a shelf life of 6 months. Mascara, actually, we'll get to that in a second. But this, once you open it, you should pitch it within 3 months. And that is a rule of thumb for all mascaras across the board. Everyone is guilty of having like that mascara lurking in their, in their drawer that's been there for goodness knows how long. But because of the way, mascara is, where you're constantly taking the wand in and out of the tube, dirt and bacteria and impurities always build up in here. And so every 3 months, it should absolutely be replaced, right? So that's champagne inner corners. And then our last step in our beautiful 5 shadow eye look is I'm going to use our gorgeous dual precision brush. You guys, a word about our brushes. They are vegan. They're spectacular. They're designed by our makeup artist on staff, and they're the best makeup brushes I've ever used. They're phenomenal. They're weighted. They're designed to just, for ease of use. And they make applying your makeup a breeze. And if you're looking at your brushes and you're going, oh gosh, it's been too long, I haven't washed them in years, or, it's time for new brushes, it's definitely a good time to dive in and swap your brushes out for some crunchy ones because they're incredible. So I'm going to pick up some of the Eclipse Black Eyeshadow. This is fabulous for the smoky eye, but for the purposes of today's tutorial, we are going to use it as liner. We're going to line our eyes with the shadow. So pick up some of the Eclipse, tap off the excess, very important, and I'm just going to line my eye. Right, I'm just going to line.
Nicole says, that is great. I think I have all these misinformed ideas about what a more natural makeup would be. So this is great info. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. I think that, for a long time, we've been kind of struggling. I have been looking for safe, non-toxic green makeup for a while that lasted, that performed, that was really, truly toxin free. And I couldn't find it. It was either like, that just didn't exist. This is like a unicorn product. I think Laura will attest to that, just like doTERRA, like it truly, when you find something that's so wonderful, it's just, you cannot quite believe how good it is. So
yeah, you can't even compare it. Like, cause I started with the makeup. I knew I needed to transition my makeup and go to a more less toxic option. But then I was in the right Target and I was scanning with the environmental working group list and some of these things. And I was like, oh, there's still some things on here that are questionable. And, it was like, well, I made a jump and it's a little better, but there's still some nasty things in there. And so this has been so great that it's just like, oh, I don't have to worry about it. They're great. And I actually like them better. Like, I feel like they're not as clumpy. It looks better. It feels better on the skin. It makes a big difference. Oh, and Martha asks, does your company have a waterproof mascara? I have dry eyes.
That's a great question. So I have actually dry eyes too. We don't have a waterproof mascara, but it is very water resistant. And I will tell you that this stands up to me crying while chopping onions. So if that can actually work for me, it's pretty amazing stuff. Yeah. So the mascara is amazing.
I was just tearing up before we started, and it holds up.
Yes, it's totally, I know. Usually I'm the one with tearing up eyes. It's hilarious. But yeah, it completely holds up. It holds up to crying sessions when I'm watching a sad movie with my daughter. Like, it's amazing. It's not waterproof, but it's very water resistant. So you can see that I line my upper eye and a little bit, lined my lower eye. I'm going to grab a little bit of the Allure with the number 7 brush. And I'm just going to gently dust underneath because I want to mirror what I did on the upper lash and my lower lash line. So just ever so gently, I'm just going to do a gentle dusting underneath to kind of mirror.
I was just going to add in, because so many people, again, that come to doTERRA are looking to reduce their toxic load. They've tried a lot of things. And I've had several of my oilers say, oh, I could not even tolerate makeup. I could not wear eye makeup. I would have a bad reaction to it. And they found that Crunchy was the first brand that they could finally wear makeup again.
Absolutely. And that has been my experience with many of my clients. They've come to me and they're like, I've tried everything. And I'm like, trust me and try Crunchy. And they're able to wear makeup again, especially eye makeup. That's been a huge one. Being able to wear eye makeup again after years of not being able to because of chemical sensitivities. Because really eye makeup it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable the toxic chemicals packed into, mascara and shadows and, the lead and, the carbon black, coal tar, like just nasty, nasty stuff in traditional conventional mascara. So I want to just do a quick highlighter, and then we're going to finish up with mascara and lips and brows, and then we'll be done. But this is just a beautiful look. And this is a great daytime look, and you can just darken up the shades for evening. So I'm going to pick up our beautiful, this is Afterglow Highlighter, my favorite shade. This looks great on every skin tone. And this and our highlighter brush, which I love, are actually on sale. I believe the savings are about 30% for the set. And this is just the perfect holiday item for yourself, perfect for gift too. And again, EcoCert certified minerals, pigment our highlighter. It's almost like a cream to powder formulation, and it just gives a beautiful glow. So I'm going to show you where I apply the highlighter. So taking the brush, the flat of the brush, I'm going to run it right along the top of my cheekbone. We love highlighter. Ladies, we want to glow like unicorns, right? We want that beautiful, beautiful glow. So easy. And then I take a little bit more, and I'm going to do the inner corners of my eyes. You can also do this with champagne. So you have options. And then finally, I'm going to do it just underneath my brows. Typically, I do my brows first with the pomade, but that's okay. So just underneath, using the tip. And you can see how the light is catching the glow and how pretty that is. And what this does is this and the highlighter underneath the brow and then the brow pomade honestly gives you like a faux brow lift and looks fabulous and just frames and finishes your brows and your face. Okay. So pretty, right? Love, love, love the highlighter. Now, you can also apply a highlighter other places. You can apply your nose, frenulum, your chin, underneath the outer corner of your eyebrows, but I just try and keep it a little bit on the simple side. I try not to go too wild with my highlighter, but you can go hog wild with your highlighter. So next step is mascara. And again, there are green tea fibers in this mascara that make it absolutely beautiful and buildable. It is not irritating at all to eyes, even dry eyes. I have very dry eyes. And I just love the beautiful natural look I get with this mascara. So I have kind of like a tried and true technique that I use. And we do have a lash curler. If you like a lash curler, we have a beautiful lash curler. My lashes curl kind of naturally. But for those of you with straight lashes, the lash curler is a game changer. And hopefully you can see what a difference a few quick coats of the mascara makes. But again, I have very dry, very sensitive eyes, and I can successfully wear this mascara all day long. I even have been known to stab myself in the eye with the mascara wand because I'm really not an expert. Sometimes even during makeup tutorials, it happens. But again,
I've got an oily hack. You can do a drop of lavender or a drop of rosemary in your mascara. Now, one drop for the whole tube, not every single time we use it because a little goes a long way, but just one drop for the whole tube. And it works really great to help lengthen your lashes. It smells amazing. And people have asked me, Laura, I tried to do this with like my makeup from the pharmacy or the grocery store, and it just clumped up and it didn't work. And I was like, yeah, because that's toxic chemicals and the oil's going to clump it all. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not going to work. Absolutely. So 100%, I will do a drop of lavender or rosemary in my mascara. And it just kind of like, it just works so, so well. And I think you mentioned this, but lavender works as a beautiful antibacterial in your mascara. And of course, I just stuck myself in the eye. Because
That's all good. Real life.
real life, real life. But this is just finishing up with the look. And I do want to highlight one other set that we actually have on sale right now that is perfect for like fall, winter, and the holidays. It's a gorgeous look. Okay. Sometimes I get a little carried away with my mascara, and you can really give yourself quite the amazing set of lashes. So what I want to show you is we have a beautiful, I love this. This is our holiday lip. This is our Maryland lipstick. All right. And if you do a layer of concealer on your lips before applying this, you can get a beautiful bright pink shade, right? I've like, if you know the color wheel, that sort of like the concealer shade, that beige concealer, like orangey beige concealer, plus this lip color will give you a beautiful bubblegum bright pink. But for now, I'm going to apply this lightly. Just going to tap it on. And make like a lip stain. And you can see how this beautiful shade translates to your lips, right? So then next step is I'm going to grab our beautiful clear gloss, and this is actually one of our gift sets. I'm going to grab our beautiful clear gloss, and now my eye is totally tearing.
Oh, I passed it on to you.
I know. I didn't even stab myself in the eye. I don't even know what's going on here. It's not from the mascara.
But I love that tip about the concealer because I never would have thought of that before. I'm obsessed with the lip gloss. I have the Sangria lip gloss on right now. I think it's a really fun fall shade when you want a little bit of pop of color, but I love that tip about the concealer and the lipstick. I'm going to have to try that.
You can get a totally different gorgeous shade, like a really beautiful bright pink. It's so amazing. And I just love that it's so versatile. You just put the concealer on over your lips. So sorry. I don't know what's happening. It's like out of nowhere, my eye's tearing. So I'm going to top this beautiful Maryland lipstick with a clear gloss called Transparency Gloss for the most gorgeous holiday look. And there you have it. Oh, I forgot, I'm going to do brows real quick. So our holiday sets are, this is our lip duo set. This is our highlighter set, and it's in two different shades, in Lit and Afterglow. And we have sold out of a couple sets. And then we have the 5 eyeshadows of your choice. You can anywhere from 1 to 5 shadows, depending on what you're looking for. They're beautiful, long-lasting, and so safe. And then finally, I am going to dive in to, and I'm going to fill in my brows. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. It won't stop here.
Another oil tip. If you put a drop of peppermint or a drop of spearmint in your lip gloss, it kind of plumps it up. It gives it that minty, fresh breath, but also kind of plumps your lip a little bit. It's awesome. So try that too if you haven't. Again, a little goes a long way. 1 drop for the whole tube is a fun thing to try.
I love that. So all of our lip glosses are gorgeous. So they all have, this is my personal favorite. This is Namaste, which is a perfect everyday shade. And I always do a drop of peppermint, as Laura suggests, just because it's a lip plumper. It smells amazing, feels great. It does also have vanilla plentifully extract in it, so that same vanilla fantastic scent as the foundation does. And the only lip gloss that doesn't have that vanilla scent is our clear lip gloss, our transparency lip gloss, because that when the company tried to put the vanilla plentifully extract in here, it made it like cloudy looking and yellow looking. It wasn't attractive. So this one, especially the peppermint, can go in and it feels and looks amazing. So I'm going to go in with our same number 10 brush, right? The number 10 brow brush, because we're going to use this for brows now. And I'm going to groom and brush my brows into place using the brush side. And it's so important to have groomed brows. Like, it really just frames your face. And what I love about our brow pomade, it comes in 4 shades. It's a shade for everyone. 3 things. Number 1, it contains natural waxes to hold your brows in place. Number 2, and just follow the natural line of your brow. Number 2, it has EcoCert certified mineral pigments to beautifully pigment your brows in the exact shade that you need. And number 3, it has gorgeous ingredients to actually help regrow brow hair. So it has castor oil, rosemary oil, jojoba oil, beautiful oils. And I have actually seen brow hair regrow, which is extremely exciting. I'm very happy to report that my brows are growing in. So it really is all about the ingredients, as Laura knows. And you can see what a difference that makes. So before and after, right? But so between the brows and the highlighter, I really think it just helps the look of your eye tremendously. And we don't need makeup, but I'm so grateful for it because I just feel like it gives me that inner boost of confidence and that just outer, that outer polish that just kind of gives me that lift throughout my day. And again, crunchy makeup, the difference is that it's more than just makeup. You're not just covering up, you're actually helping your skin. Over time, you're helping to improve the look, feel, and texture of your skin over time because our makeup is more than just makeup. It's actually beneficial to your skin. And I love that our makeup plays so well with doTERRA oil. So like I will mix the primer with Yarrow Pom. I do a drop of Yarrow Pom every morning in my primer.
I do too. I love Yarrow Pom. Oh my gosh. And the primer. It's a great combo.
Amazing. And you taught me that, Dr. Laura.
And it's so nice because these are the little underlying things, right? The stuff that we put on our skin every single day, the perfumes, the candles, that like all of these little things that are kind of silent, hidden things that can be affecting our hormones or our health. And I love, it's so simple when you make a little swap, like, oh, when you swap out your makeup for crunchy, it's done. Like you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like I don't have to worry about, what I'm using on my face, what I'm using on my skin. I know that it's high quality. I know that it looks great. I know that it's going to last all day. I know that I don't look overly made up. I just look perfect and ready to face the day. And again, if I want to do more of an evening look, my looks are done, but I would just darken up around my eyes and call it a day. And that's it. Because that's it's my soft day look, but perfect for fall and winter, perfect for holidays. Again, just darken up the eyes. And I hope that that's been helpful. Hope I've answered your questions. I'm glad that we're able to do a makeup tutorial and kind of dive into some ingredients to avoid. I always love to include some education, an education portion along with simply the makeup tutorial. But I invite you all to take a minute, perhaps join my client group. I will link that as well. I provide a lot of education there about ingredients to avoid, but also makeup tutorials. We talk about, just general wellness and health. And, we really try and we have fun, but we also provide education in the group. So Dr. Laura, thank you for having me on.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. And I will post that link as well. And you guys can find it. You'll want to make sure that you're in Lisa's education group because she shares so much valuable tips and information and does these tutorials, which I wasn't a big makeup person before. So it was helpful for me to watch and learn. And just like we do with the essential oils and we teach a lot, it's a wonderful thing. And you can also follow her over on Instagram too. So make sure that you follow her in all of the places. And what a perfect time that there's a sale going on. So we'll post links for all of that if you are curious. And I tell people, like, just if you can't do and completely replace everything, start with one thing. It makes a huge difference. Like, maybe swap out your mascara. And then when you're able to, maybe swap out your lip gloss or whatever that looks like. But one little step in the right direction, it all adds up and it makes a huge difference. So thank you, Lisa,
Absolutely.
for being here.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Yeah. And just for example, like just switching out your lip gloss and mascara, you're ditching dozens of toxins, dozens of harmful chemicals. So absolutely the way to go, even if it's just, one product at a time or one product per month. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, well, we got so many thank yous and appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for having me on and for listening. And thank you, Dr. Laura. As always, it's been such a pleasure to be in your incredible tribe and you're amazing. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for giving us these options. I feel like they just fit beautifully. And we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your morning. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Bye.